I'll start the tour of my garden in the front of the house, where I have some volunteer pumpkin thinnings. They came up on their own in the garden where we had left pumpkin last year, and I didn't want to throw them away, so I pulled them out of the ground and I put them in these pots. They've been here a few days now. They're growing, doing great. At the beginning of the week, or about 4 or 5 days ago, they actually had nothing but bare roots. Now they are perfectly happy in their new homes, and I'll have to take them and put them in the garden soon. So I'm going to have to expand my garden to make room for these pumpkins, and that's fine with me. I think pumpkin may be my favorite crop, and I like to eat it every day, cold, either with cereal or cinnamon or something. Pumpkin has just become my favorite vegetable. So here we're coming down to the garden. Looks quite a bit different, I think, than it did the last time I showed it off. The tomatoes are completely out of control. They have burst through their neat little wire cages and are now rolling around on the ground. When I get through this video, I'm going to pick any of them that have a little orangeness in them and put them on the kitchen shelf window so that they can ripen inside. Next year I'm going to have to come up with a different program. These little wire cages are not very much help. This is an open spot. I think I may put more winter squash in this spot right here. I love what the winter squash have done this year. I think these beauties right here are going to take the place of my squash. I've only got one, my pumpkins. I only have one big pumpkin left from last year. And I think these bright yellow ones can be eaten. Here's a little plant that I replanted here, and I'm protecting it from the sun. But those are pretty. I've got some more planted here, and the first one is right there to come up. We've been eating lots of squash. I picked some yesterday. These are summer squash. These are quite a bit different than the winter squash. These do not suit me quite as much as the winter squash do. But ginger really makes them delicious, and we have a lot of those. My pumpkin patch, now this is 12 noon or so, very hot. This one's going to be a yellow pumpkin, I think. All these down here are going to be yellow. And I'm glad to see that we've got some white ones up at the top up here. I'm going to put a whole nother 30 feet of pumpkins over there. Here are my sweet potatoes, and I've got some more sweet potato slips if I can find a place to put them in the garden. I grew these sweet potato slips myself, and I'm pretty proud of them. I got to find a place for them. I just set the the small sweet potatoes on top of the ground, covered them up with dirt, and up propped 1,000,000 sweet potato slips. Very good, Davis. So I think this is going to be my best garden ever. It's June the 18th, I think, or 17th, and it is looking really fine. Many of the people up on the mountain have only had their gardens in the ground several weeks. But mine is looking spectacular. By the way, these are potatoes that came up. I had planted some, but I wasn't too successful with my potato crop this year. I fooled around, made some experiments, and unless I've got 50 pounds of potatoes in there, which I don't think I do, my potato crop will be a bust. But everything else is looking great. I just have to figure out how I'm going to plant my tomatoes next year so that they'll all stay upright and high off the ground. Thanks for watching the video.